What's good, everyone? OJ over here from PlayerEssence, and welcome to another PE Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today we've got some good topics for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Nintendo downloads are in, and the big title that everyone is probably going to want to see for themselves is Oasis on the Nintendo 3DS. So let's go over some of these different releases for this week on the Nintendo downloads. Oasis, the desert's last safe haven, is a lone oasis you call home. So draw a line in the sand and fight to protect it as you explore the desert and solve puzzling dungeons. You'll gather resources to build up your oasis with the water spirit Esena, or is it Esna? Something like that. Allies will join your cause, so equip them with weapons and use their skills to slay towering bosses. The Oasis game will be available on June 23rd, which is today. You can go buy it in stores in addition to the eShop. We also have RPG Maker Fez, or FES, that's coming out, and it says to create the RPG you always wanted and dreamed with the RPG Maker Fez game. RPG Maker Fez is a game creation software that lets you create your own RPGs without any programming knowledge. Customize characters, stories, combat, and more, then upload and share your creations to play other users' games with the free RPG Maker Player application, which can also be downloaded in the Nintendo eShop. On the Nintendo 3DS family of systems, RPG Maker Fez will be available on June 27th, so we're going to have to wait a little bit longer for that one, but I'm actually wanting to try one of those. Not creating any of the games myself, but actually trying out other people's creations. And I'm pretty sure there's some type of curation tool where like you can look up the best RPGs, so that might be something that I pick up and just play whenever I guess I have some free time or something like that. Now moving on, we do have some Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia DLC, the season pass. Nintendo talks about that. It's $49.99, 22 pieces of content, and with the Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia season pass, it includes all 5 DLC packs, plus there's also the DLC pack 5, the Cypher Champions pack, and that's $5.99 and 2 pieces of content. Each piece of content in this set for the Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia game for the Nintendo 3DS family of systems introduces 2 exclusive characters from the Japanese Fire Emblem Cypher trading card game. The 4 characters will also be usable in the main game and are fully voiced. So pretty cool stuff there. Plus we have some stuff for the Nintendo Switch. We have ACA Neo Geo Fatal Fury 2 that you can download. It's basically virtual console type of game. And then we also have Oceanhorn Monster of Uncharted Seas, which is like a Zelda type of game. Runs in 1080p 60 frames per second on the Nintendo Switch. And we also have a Daikon set, which is on the Wii U. So out of all those, I think Oceanhorn would probably be good for your Nintendo Switch. And of course, if you're into Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia, there's already plenty of content. There's already too much for me to play. I'm like 40 hours in, and I'm still playing through the single player campaign because of all the content that there is in there. So if you want to get the extra stuff, you can. But overall, I would just say, you know, you can do without it. But man, Fire Emblem Echoes Shadows of Valentia is really good. It has a lot of content. I'm looking forward to Oasis and seeing what other players say about that. I want to watch some more gameplay on that, but that looks pretty cool. Might be a game that I pick up later down the line. So if you guys are getting any of these games, let me know in the comment section below. Alright, and moving on to the next article here. So we have the Nintendo Switch eShop charts for June 23rd, 2017. Going from the bottom to the top, we'll start off with that number 20, 1-2 Switch. Number 19, The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. Number 18, The Jackbox Party 3. Number 17, Thumper. Number 16, Disgaea 5 Complete. Number 15, Wonder Boy The Dragon Trap. Number 14, Cave Story Plus. Number 13, Puyo Puyo Tetris. Number 12, Has Been Heroes. Number 11, Ultra Street Fighter 2 The Final Challengers. Number 10, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Number 9, Kamiko. Number 8, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. Number 7, NBA Playgrounds. Number 6, Snipper Clips. Number 5, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 4, Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Number 3, Shantae Half Genie Hero. Number 2, Minecraft Nintendo Switch Edition. And number 1, ARMS. So a lot of great games here. A lot of users are picking up different things, whether it's the indie titles that are out or the bigger ones like ARMS, in addition to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still holding in the top 10 there. And of course, ARMS is going to be the number 1 title. Has a very small download size. I think it's like 5 gigabytes or so. So I knew that game was going to be right up there, and it's doing very well. We saw the numbers from Japan, over 100K in the first week, at least the first few days in Japan, and I'm pretty sure that it's at least double to triple that as far as North America or the US goes. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how it did, and of course Nintendo's summer lineup, because it doesn't really stop. Right after that, we do have Fate Extell coming up, and we also have Splatoon 2 as well. So there's going to be more content incoming, and I'm really looking forward to Splatoon 2. And of course, I'm having tons of fun playing through ARMS and ranking up in the online ranked one. I think that's a really good mode that they included in there. Alright, and moving on to the last article here, we're going to be talking about Professor Layton and how it could be potentially coming to the Nintendo Switch. So once again, the Level-5 president and of course CEO Akihito Hino has had a lot to say recently, and I think because he's really trying to promote the game, the Layton's mystery journey and all that stuff, because it has that new character, the girl that's in there. So there's a lot of stuff that he talks about, and I'm not going to go over everything, but I did want to talk about the lack of a Switch version because that was brought up in a recent interview, and here's what Hino-san had to say on the matter. Quote, "The reason why we chose the Nintendo 3DS is because there's a large Layton fan base on 3DS. Given that we've released other Layton titles on the platform, we wanted to cater to that original fan base, and we already have and has been for a long time. Also, we are releasing it for smartphones. The reason why we didn't bring it to Switch is because we hadn't started development for the Switch at the time that we were actively working on this game. For the future, we'll look into maybe porting it to the Switch and making the next game in the series on the Switch." So that's a very interesting concept and something that a lot of people can't just like fathom. That's the thing that I've noticed with a lot of Nintendo fans. For some reason, they can't fathom that games need to be planned like ahead of time, like well ahead of time, and the fact that the Nintendo Switch is a new system. Not every game is going to be able to be put on there, especially right around the time at launch. You can clearly see what he says here. He says, well, while we were working on it, the Switch wasn't around. We didn't start development on the Switch because it wasn't here. Games take years to make, even smaller ones like the Nintendo 3DS when it comes to the voice acting, cinematics, everything that you're going to do into the game, the puzzles, bug solving, all that can take anywhere from 2 to 3 years. And if you've already have a platform there that you're going to develop on, why are you going to sit there and try to predict the future, which is very hard to do when it comes to these systems. So I do think that Professor Layton will come to the Nintendo Switch, and he pretty much says, hey, we might port it or we're just going to bring a new one. He's talked about them developing on the Nintendo Switch. He's already confirmed that they are working on projects, so we could see a port or we could see a brand new game. I think Professor Layton would be good on the Switch, but like Mr. Hino has said before in the past, they have to figure out exactly what they're going to do, because the Layton series has a lot of touchscreen stuff and has a lot of things that you'd use the 3DS for, and the Nintendo Switch, it can do that, but it can only do that in portable mode. So you're going to have to figure out ways for it to work in portable mode and ways for it to work on the TV, and you're going to have to figure out ways for it to work like both. It can't just be like one or the other, or you have to do puzzles in this mode, you have to do puzzles in the TV mode. You got to have it to work and work in both. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they actually do. I know that there are some games that are portable mode only. That game Voice, that's like a music game where you have to tap and stuff, it's like from smartphones. That game you can only play it in portable mode. But Professor Layton, that's a much bigger franchise, and of course Nintendo collaborates with them, so obviously they're going to want them to make that on the TV as well. So I think they'll figure something out. Level-5 is a very good studio. I also personally feel that Yokai Watch 4, or the next Yokai Watch, is in development for the Nintendo Switch, or they're going to be bringing over Yokai Watch to Nintendo Switch after looking at these Japanese sales. I've been hearing a few things about Japanese developers really gearing up as far as porting stuff over. We've already seen some of it, obviously Square Enix. We've seen other companies really start to get ready and get their games up and going. There's definitely going to be a lot more from these Japanese developers, especially looking at all the craze of the Nintendo Switch right now in Japan and people snapping it up in games selling generally well, whether it's a smaller game or whether it's the bigger titles out there in Japan. Alright guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Make sure you check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go and give us a like and a follow on all of our social media. It really helps us spread the content of PlayerEssence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also make sure you check out our Patreon page. Pledge any tier, be entered in to win some awesome prizes. In addition to that, we have Discord voice chat for all of our live streams and $10 prized eShop terms for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, ARMS, Splatoon will be having, and so much more. So support PE Live and PE Arena right here on PlayerEssence. Also make sure you hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for more news, reviews, discussions, and more. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to catch you ninja for the next video. Peace.